Good evening and welcome to Your Call. Joining me tonight is a very special guest, a man who's begun a whole new journey. That is former Army Chief General VK Singh. Thank you very much for joining me tonight, sir.
Thank you.
A lot has changed in 24 hours, a complete transition. What was it like for you when you got up this morning?
Feeling of freedom. A feeling that you don't have to go to office, you don't have to, do all the things that you did every day. And a feeling that the time is yours. So it's a great feeling. It's a great feeling. And as I have said, the journey of 1,000 miles starts today.
What's interesting, of course, is where we saw you this week at the NDA passing out parade. You said also that you would like to be remembered as a soldier who did his duty in that sense. And you spoke in your speech also about service before self, about how that really is something that everyone in this army must remember. Yet you faced so much flack over the last few months, and saying people who said that you put self before service. What would you say on that today?
See, it is perceptions. There are a lot of people who do not know what is happening, and they come out with their own perceptions. Some of them want to throw muck just because it is in their interest to do so. If they can put themselves in the shoes and understand the situation, maybe they'll find that things are different. A lot of things are motivated, and one has seen enough of it to say that a lot of motivated stories, newses, and unfortunately, journalism is, I call it a mandi, in which everybody knows what everybody else is doing. So if somebody thinks that people don't come to know, not that day, but after a couple of days as to what is happening, then I think everybody is fooling himself or herself. So we know what is happening, and I'm unfazed by such this thing, because I think anybody who is throwing insults at you or trying to denigrate you is denigrating himself or insulting himself, because you are what you are.
Yet you have spoken out in the media again and again. In fact, the Prime Minister, when asked just 2 days ago in your comments, said silence is golden. Many ask why you, as an army chief, today you're an ex-army chief, you're liberated in a sense, but why you as an army chief spoke so often to the media?
See, I think we have to speak on some matters when they come up. I think everybody does so. It is not that people don't speak and they say, just keep quiet. Yes, there are certain matters which are sensitive and you don't touch them. There are things when you are asked a question, I think it is always better to say so, and especially so when people are trying to denigrate you. I think at times it is better to come out and say what it is, so that everybody knows what the facts are.
Because in fact, there was a huge overwhelming support in some senses over the whole age round. Many in the army had backed you on that. But then again, when the corruption, when you made that 14 crore bribe offer, when you revealed that in an interview, many asked, has the army chief now gone too far? Why should this come up in a television interview? We've seen BEML has just today announced, as your ex-army chief, that we're going to file a suit against you. Are you worried in a sense that you're now going to face huge legal battles? Why did corruption allegations come up in a television interview?
The whole issue was notified or informed to the concerned people, my superiors, when it occurred. Now, after a particular time, somebody was trying to plant stories and other things. So one had to say so what the character of this particular person was. You are right, a lot of people would like to file suits and all that. We know which lobbies are involved in it. We know who are the interested people. The matter is under investigation by CBI. So what is the fear? If somebody says we want to file a suit because I have said A, B and C, please wait, let the CBI investigate. I've got no fear of this thing. I know there will be a lot of people who will be motivated for various reasons to try and trouble, to create all kinds of things. All that I would say is, look into your own hearts and you will know what the truth is.
That point I made about even those who supported you initially, many after various public statements by you, changed that stand and they said, look, we're worried about what this will do to the morale of the army. Even former Defence Minister Jaswant Singh, who was a very strong supporter of yours, then said that things had reached a stage where perhaps you should stop talking. Even now we've heard the army chief, the new army chief, talk about, forget about past baggage. I have to restore the morale of the troops. AK Antony saying we must bury the bitterness of the past 8 months. The implication seems somehow to blame you for this impact on morale. Do you think that's fair?
See, lot of stories get put out for various reasons. Some are kind courtesy, some spin masters who want to project things in a particular manner. There are a couple of things I have always clarified. One, there is no difference between the ministry and the army. We are part of the ministry. We have got no differences. Yes, there will be professional differences. After all, if an organization does not have professional differences, how will it progress? Second thing, what are we talking of? Whose morale are we talking of? Are we talking of some selective, disgruntled element whom you have spoken to? Go and talk to the men. They are our strength. Go and talk to our young officers. They are our strength. I am quite sure none of them is affected. They know what the actual thing is. So I don't give any weightage to any such thing. And I think the earlier the spin masters stop all such things, the better it would be for the organization.
But the spin master in this case is the army chief,
no,
and
he's not saying anything.
AK Antony has said,
he's also not saying anything.
Has said bury the bitterness of the past months.
He's not saying it. It is what has been put out by somebody. I've got great faith in our Raksha Mantri, and I can say he's not going to say a thing like this. So let's not ascribe things. And I've got a great faith in the new chief who has taken over. He's not going to say such a thing. So, we have a habit, put words in the mouth and say, no, this is what it means. This is what it says. Let's, and it will continue.
Then the issue of why you spoke out just months before your retirement. Why didn't you speak out in that sense much earlier or go public much earlier with this?
I think I have already gone public in terms of how the matter is to be done. So things were already in place. I mean, when the issue came up in 2010, the things were already in place. In fact, when I came as the chief, we had already put multi-vendor thing in place. Obviously, you will face certain amount of criticism, you will face resistance from people who feel that till now they were having a good time and now they won't. So that's okay.
Do you have the NDTV Profit app? All the markets, all the news and your own homemade, ready-made portfolio available there for you.
We will right now answer what you should sell, what you should buy when markets are down.
Download at ndtvprofit.com/apps. Get the best app from the channel you trust.